In my subscription box, there's the channel for self-improvement. I don't even have to rocket ship and review the channel. I have to extract as much information as possible. It's more of a utility than a review. Rocket ship being one of my channels. Where I discuss other channels or creators or just celebrities, right? Well, anyways, welcome to another one of these, the Max Stats episode. I actually tried to pull off a different one. I have a standing setup for PC right now. Life is very different because of that, but that gives me incredible efficiency to be able to, most importantly, alleviate stress. This was the most stressing thing, is just sitting down for way too long. Standing for too long, it's just gonna put a burden on your legs, and guess what happens next? You know when to rest. Your rest is not determined by how many YouTube videos you watched or whether you feel sleepy. Your rest is now determined on the on and off schedule of you laying down and you standing up. So I have a bed and a standing up setup. Good enough. That's not me though. I will never be able to show myself, for I am terrible at taking pictures. Alright. Also known as not having a girlfriend or anyone else in the fucking room who gives a fuck about me. So I pulled this off and populated information about reach. Reach being a specific skill that you might want to have. This was the stress giving up matrix. Accepting or rejecting, right? And then joining in or battling against stress. And it's, you still have to find a balance of clicking these buttons. You know, whatever is going on, you have to do the opposite. If there's a lot of evil in the world, you have to fight back against it. And people will generally understand. Because you have to explain to the people, sometimes with actions, of what has to be done, and all of a sudden you're stepping out of the shadows to fucking be the superhero that is trying to mitigate damages that all of a sudden are occurring in a particular moment. It's a lot weirder when, you know, you move to another location and start telling people how they're supposed to behave. It's very different when I lived here for 20 years, and all of a sudden there's a wave of noise, and I'm fighting back against it pretty much successfully. Pretty much I mastered it to some extent. Now, there is none of that going on, or like, I would have to be a little bit evil, a little bit cheeky, you know, with these people that attempt to do the good job, because you have to train them as well. You have to tell them, obviously, that you're on purpose evil. You're not accepting anything that is stressful. So this is a map. This is like the fucking a controller, basically. A problem happens, you have to do the opposite, pull the opposite way. This is what happens when you all of a sudden are more responsible of a person, and you feel where humanity's leaning towards, where your local space is leaning towards. You have to balance things out, not just yourself. Just because you balance yourself doesn't mean you get out of trouble for free, right? But it does mean that you're going to be less stressed most of the time and be able to get more opportunities, react in an appropriate way, and solve quests that, like, someone can approach you and you mishandled the situation, or maybe you handled it properly, but you just don't know. There's a lot of time of just contemplation of what you could have done better that has to be spent usually when you're in stress mode. Or you can be listening to my shit and trying to improve yourself. So I thought about reach, and I have to clean this. Wait, was I actually building this instead? I don't think so. No, it was kind of boring. I'm basically discovering that in my life, not only I'm here, I'm kind of transitioning to here. This is obviously a lot easier to do, to just transition yourself as a person. When you have to transition your community, it's a lot more complicated. Transition into higher purpose. Purpose being an NPC, just a regular person that just spawns babies and tries to have a smile on their face at as many times as possible. They still can have a pretty good life, but the road ends very quickly. They spawn babies, they make a family, they do all this, the checklist behaviors that everyone expects you do, which is just not very fulfilling or accomplishing of anything. And all of a sudden, you multiply this 10 times, and all of a sudden you're on a celebrity path, which is absolutely insane. Like, what? Then the only next thing you can do is be a celebrity, but like everyone wants to be an influencer, and not for a stupid reason. The only thing you can do is become popular, become ahead of other people, become the leader over others. But usually that means you're popular, and you can increase your popularity and climb the ladder this way. The third level is a lot crazier because you still increase your self-esteem or your community 10 times. You increase everything tenfold. Every step, maybe even more than 10 times, because people have such a fucking big number of followers. It's like, where do they all come from now? You can even quantify things by 10 times. But it's a lot easier, because not every follower gives a fuck about you anyways. It's a fucking number. Especially on the platforms like TikTok, you can get more followers a lot faster, and they care about you less, because if you don't show up on their feed, you're not relevant. It's a very different dynamic. So, being here on the path of a platform where I can actually build just my own game, my game would be better than any other game out there, because people literally are incompetent. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And it's laughable looking at them, basically. But that would mean I would go this way. I would reach towards this being a platform, being a media of something, right? Where people come to either gather information, play games, socialize, social media, right? Build their profiles. Who the fuck cares? But you would be a platform growing this way. There's actually a tenfold increase yet again, which is being godlike. It's a lot crazier than being a platform somehow. Dominating every platform ever. And that's not Mr. Beast. That's not Mr. Beast. Just because he dominates social media platforms, just because he dominates YouTube in particular, it doesn't fucking matter. In fact, he's not dominating anything, he's just being a dominant celebrity, right? It's very different, but it feels similar to like a high godlike level, right? When you are A-listed celebrity, you like occupy level 5 existence. Being godlike is being known for solving world's craziest problems. What's the platform if you don't use a smartphone to actually access the platform? Platforms don't exist. You literally create hardware, you create inventions, you solve world's biggest problems, basically. That's what godlike is all about. But the first problem to solve is to not be bothered by anything, and go really deep into the essence of what's going on, where no fucking old man can fool you by being a fucking Grinch stealing Christmas. No young person can just, attack you for being a fucking weirdo or whatever. You have all the tools, first of all, to defend yourself and your self-esteem and infinite esteem over everyone else. No matter what they say, what they do, like, they will be wrong, stupid, and defeated in the end. You just move on. You literally take no social damage is possible against you because you're godlike. There's nothing they can do about it. Socially. Of course, pull out a gun, pull out physical bullshit, and all of a sudden you might have power over me. Maybe. Godlike, the path of gods, where anything is possible if you truly want it, if you truly see a vision for it. If your self-esteem can fully encompass it and hold it together and be excited about it. That's how inventions are born. That's how the world instantly changes with people like that. The power level is determined of how you change the world. How difficult it is for you to change the world. Shitting out a baby takes 9 months. Hubba hubba, dude. But you can only shit out as many babies until you have to take care of them, and get a headache out of it. An inventor can invent something, and it's not a fucking baby anymore. It's not a platform. This would be a baby, right? Like, if I have self-esteem to build platform, I'm basically making a baby. But this, I'm a community manager. Anyone who bumps into me, I can probably give them good advice and help them. I'm the guru, basically, satisfying my name, which is fascinating, right? And if I truly satisfy my name, maybe I take control over YouTube. The next step is to go here, which means that you can, again, jump around the board. You don't have to have a straight path. I don't have to follow godlike behavior for too long. Maybe I won't like it anyways. Right? Maybe it's too hard. I don't know. But yeah, holding self-esteem to the point where, you're better than everyone else. Like, bumping into another godlike person is as odd as winning a lottery at this point. Because good people don't fucking do stupid shit in order to bump into each other. Only stupid people make noise, Godlike creatures barely are visible or existent, and people actually want to negate their existence, want to deny. We're anti-religious. The God is within all of us. We all have power to change things, and push things forward. It's crazy what you can do in life. It's absolutely crazy. It blows my mind every single time. And maybe you're lagging behind because you don't actually see what is possible. So, seeing possibilities is godlike behavior. Seeing possibilities of world-changing, not just building a platform, but actually, you could, and use that platform to change the world as well, significantly. Invent something completely new. Because copying and pasting another platform with a twist is one thing. It's another thing to have it completely unique with new features every single time. So that would also be pretty good. But I don't know. I'm just describing this thing as best as I can. It's still a question mark of exactly what it is. I don't want to spend too much time speculating on that one dot, but 4x4, You know, Rubik's Cube, my friends, that is fucking improvement, self-improvement matrix that it's extremely useful to define everything in very simple terms, in times 10 terms, x10. And the reason why this works is I find patterns that work and put them together. This is already like incredibly advanced. It has a pattern of time, the pattern of just elements in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, and has the pattern of, well, 4 by 4, most importantly. Just a two-dimensional pattern. But it has pattern of personalities, right? Personalities time 4 by 4, and the order of elements. Also 4 patterns stuck together, giving us something completely new all of a sudden. So I thought reaching is a pretty important skill to have, especially knowing that that's what it is. That's how you become rich. By reaching, you become rich. It's the same words, except, you know, one is something you have to do to become rich, and you're rich after the fact, right? I rich. I rich. You have flipped these 2 letters, but it's literally the same word. In order to have success, you have to reach some kind of achievement. Maybe sell something for a lot of money. Make a good deal. And again, you can be rich not just in money, but in many styles and types of resources. Anything can be a great achievement in your life. Money is just a good translation of success into numbers. It's just a translation. But you wouldn't want to have money. You want to have stuff that is useful to you, that you can use. Money is just a determination of value that you can push into the future. And hopefully inflation doesn't eat half of it. But that's not for you to say. I am the government. I will take your money. Fucking government steals money so fucking much without us even getting upset about it, because, oh, the government is helping us. Until we see a pothole in the road, then we can actually take a photo of it and shove government of like how negligent they are. But what if we don't have potholes? What are we gonna do next? God damn it, dude. So I can reread these things for you guys. I'm just saying. The easiest thing of government negligence is that, which is kind of frustrating. But at the same time, it does take quite a bit. That's asphalt for you. And it's still better maintenance, easier maintenance than railways, which is like, take away all the railway funding, everything. Just remove that from the board for the sake of filling up these potholes, and our lives are going to be 10 times better. Like, for fuck's sake, you know? One of the aspects of being godlike is that I can tell you what is bullshit, and I know for sure that it's bullshit, that trains are absolute fucking garbage. I know for sure. Besides one pin holding it all together of like, wow, trains can move objects. Big objects. Very, very quickly, it seems. But that, I don't know how much of a solution that is when you still have to move those objects again from the train to other locations. You still have to move those objects. So like, what the fuck? What are we even doing? What are we doing having trains right now? Like, it's terrible. And maintaining that is absolutely insane. Now, finding an efficient way to maintain potholes, one person can do it with a fucking bag of cement. Like, there's something we should be able to do that's like more efficient than a big truck comes in to fill that spot, and people would, whiz wests, visibility wests, fucking cranking the spot. I don't know how much effort it takes to fix this shit, but like, god damn it. It wouldn't even be a big problem in people's lives. It's just a showcase of government negligence. Anyways, so I had an idea, right? In order to reach success, you have to have the magical skill of reach. You are this, right? You have to have long hands of reaching. You have to be able to commit focus and have dedicated time of investigating and reaching a certain type of success, right? People are quite shallow nowadays, and just self-improvement gonna quickly split you away from the rest of the people who do living weird, insignificant lives. I mean, at this point, being godlike, I don't even know if I want to do platforming, right? Yeah, I'm putting together so much effort, so much work. Like, of course, my self-esteem is gonna bolster, especially when people reject me. When people deny my existence, that means that this is the driving force of what builds your self-esteem. Other people basically get to decide what your level of self-esteem actually is supposed to be by you receiving rejection and trauma and just stress, right? And just putting effort as well. Stress, trauma. These are the ingredients to make the perfect little Super Saiyan. Oh my god, I have to write it down. So trauma is like a memory thing. Effort is you working on yourself and building things for yourself, accumulating things for yourself. Rejection is people not accepting that you should be doing that, or you not liking things because they're just disturbing. You can probably do something better with your life. And stress just being generally attacked for your beliefs and your way of life, which shouldn't fucking bother anyone when you're not stupid idiot, It shouldn't bother anyone. Stupid idiots can be trained and improved much more significantly than godlike creatures. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not gonna be improved that easily. Funny enough, I can't just jump into your community and help you out with your PP problems. Those are the ingredients to make a perfect little Super Saiyan. Effort being you stand in one place and you're I love this shit, bro. It's so good. That's effort right there, bro. Holy shit, man. Am I proud of this man. But because he's godlike, he's never gonna reveal his face, his true identity. Anyways. Path to godhood. I mean, obviously, I'm exaggerating when saying godlike, but I can say words, and I don't care anymore. I can say words. You have to fight back. I don't have to, put more effort than you do. I just have to match it now. I can do whatever I want to the point where I'm simply defeating everyone else who try to bolster against me, As long as I'm defeating everyone else, I hold the maximum self-esteem imaginable, right? So I should allow myself to do and think whatever I want, even with flaws in place, because if someone doesn't fucking like it, we'll talk about it, we'll argue about it, we'll waste time later, not now. I don't have to stress. See, the thing is, I will not be defeated anymore. There's no trauma, effort, rejection, or stress that is necessary anymore. No one can actually ask me to do anything, to remember anything that I don't like in a particular way. I cannot be rejected anymore because I'm just doing my own thing. Like, it's impossible to reject me. I'm just gonna move on, do my own thing. Every rejection just repurposes my energy in other ways because I am the wind. I cannot be rejected. I am the wind. I will get in anything that is open and consensual. And stress cannot possibly happen most of the time, unless I'm really under attack. Then of course I'm just a fucking human being like everyone else. You know, being under attack, being singled out. Like, there's bad things that can happen that will still not actually elevate you to a high enough level to defend yourself. Who knows, right? There are levels of difficulty in life, and being godlike is still tough, depending on like what I want to reach in life, maybe. I don't know, because you put difficulty on life on yourself on your own terms as well. If you just live a simple life, if you just say to yourself simple, 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 I mean, you're programming yourself to be an NPC. Specifically, it is absolutely crippling, I would say, to treat yourself as an NPC, especially if you do something significant and you are single, you're rejected. If you gather enough of these resources, it is actually a crippling experience to still treat yourself as an NPC, as not a celebrity or anything of importance. Like, you have to really be happy about yourself. I don't know what happens in the women's world, but it does feel like you can often crash. That your self-esteem just crashes and you don't feel good about yourself anymore. But that's great. Every negativity can be turned into something very, very valuable, into called self-esteem. Everything that's negative is not fair, because a lot of people get around it with cheesy strategies or commitment towards a shitty path. So, anything bad that happens actually accumulates into something good. Really, really good stuff to know. Especially when your brain also resets every single day. It has to re-heal itself and figure out what to discard and what to keep, what to challenge when you wake up, because your memory is going to be wacky when you wake up. Your intention is going to be wacky. Every single thing resets. And yeah, these are probably going to be bonus memes all of a sudden. The school videos, maybe one school video every single time. We're just kind of doing random shit right now, but I'm kind of remixing the Reach video because I need to give you information on this. But basically, imagine you have stats, right? You have agility 6 or whatever, and ABC stats have a certain amount of that. You are on the spectrum to a certain extent, right? In order to reach something, you have to redistribute your stats. There's the most important stat of them all, the S-rank stat of success, is ability to distribute your own stats, which is a very fascinating skill. Right? The flexibility skill. So you take away from things that not so important or super abundant, and you put towards things that actually matter. This is the power of focus, and your capacity to reach success is to change your mind about everything that you're doing. You drop everything you're doing, you have an opportunity, you lock in, and you grind it down until it becomes success. I have been approached today by a shady man. And it makes me think of like, is that the Vortex year happening? I will definitely lock it in the story because that's traumatic for sure. I usually am not approached whatsoever, but this year is very different. So yeah, being approached kind of felt like a vortex, but at the same time I was asking for trouble that day. I came out with the esteem of godlike and inviting, that sort of interaction. I'm not too upset about it. I'm glad. Like, there's a courageous man asking decent question, right? Flexibility. This is also going to be a shield, not just your success generator. Being able to refocus on something that is important in that particular moment. That is the game, basically. Of you running around collecting stars like a fucking Mario. Yep. You suddenly are a Mario. Not like everyone else, because you have distributed your stats from being a human being into a plumber. Italian plumber. Maybe you don't want to be Italian plumber for way too long, and you will redistribute stats back or into something else. I will become Super Saiyan. In order to reach, one of the stats you can distribute is obviously time. Time management, as I've said, is the greatest thing of self-improvement, of how you spend your time. Can be improved significantly. Every second matters, right? If you make every second matter, all of a sudden you feel pressure every second that you might be wasting or could be upgrading into the future. You can upgrade for 5 minutes, you can upgrade, I don't know, 1,000 minutes of the future. You will always take that consideration, right? So of course I want to upgrade 1,000 minutes of the future when small things matter. Doing small things that improve your life and reduce failure. Every time you fail, you can stop and ask yourself, maybe you could have done something better, right? Without instructions and advice, people are having a hard time improving themselves. But anytime you fail, you have obligation to do research on the topic. I think this would actually really, really quickly give you that 1,000-minute boost for a certain amount of work. This is what effort translates into. This is what it means. Because you do things more correctly. And you have to observe the outside world and do general research until failure happens. You almost invite failure for the sake of learning permanently. And it's a good thing. This is why my teacher is always like so upset of like, oh, I spent 2 times more money, but he keeps forgetting to say that that's education. He pays for education. He pays for experience. He pays to know what is a shitty product and what is a good product. He pays to know the difference. To become aware. And awareness is not free or easy to pull off. Absolutely not. It actually gets underestimated so often. I am aware of how to build a platform. I'm aware of how to maximize every single stat is in front of me, basically. Even though it's just fucking 16 dots on the screen. And all of a sudden, it's just like, your life purpose? Easy. Figure that out already. I have door handles, so I print out handles right now. And all of a sudden, these 5 minutes that I spend gonna improve 1,000 minutes of my future. If I improve just the door handle, the way I open the door, any discomfort that I have, if I tackle that shit, all of a sudden my life, my future improves. And your future is more important than how you currently feel. Because you're currently probably don't even have responsibilities. You haven't taken that many responsibilities to actually do anything productive for yourself currently, but maybe you can do productive things for your future, right? Anytime you think that way, and you might start solving problems, you might start focusing on things that actually matter as well. Scoping for bigger stars. What is the biggest thing? Evaluating things. And finding a direction. You can just find a direction. You don't have to go particular for this thing. But because achievement is close enough to you, you go that direction. What is the closest thing? What is the greatest technology that I can have in my room without the need to go outside too much? What is the best self-improvement activity I can do? I can have a computer. Have anyone figured that out yet? How fucking valuable this is? Where can I spend my time so I don't have to go outside? Going outside is bad, which is such a crazy thing of just European rule, or at least Eastern European rule. Going outside and socializing and bumping into other people is bad. Is bad for you. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be collecting, hoarding resources for yourself because other people want them too. They are very eager to take your resources, is what's going on here. Because people are just generally selfish. And that has been portrayed many, many times. That's how Eastern Europe just works. Selfish people. And you have to cut them off. Well, selfish is not bad, but greed is very bad. And selfish, to talk about selfishness, other people's selfishness, is also recognizing that it's bad. Like, you shouldn't make it a topic that we should talk about, of how selfish you are. Like, that's, yeah, but like, we're all selfish. And we're supposed to be selfish. But what's the good things that you do that we can connect, we can trade with, that's what matters more. So selfishness does not have a good rep because it's not supposed to be talked about. It's supposed to be acknowledged that everyone is selfish. And every time we talk about it, it's probably greed. It smells like greed immediately. It smells like suspicious activity. So, that was nice. Being able to, and improve other people's lives too. Why not just yourself? But the other people have to be productive. And the other people could also be distributed to do a different thing. A butler can start cooking food if it didn't do that already. Cleaner might be washing your clothes automatically, know what to do. Might go into your room and pick your clothes up or ask you to, change your clothes. Whatever you fucking need in order to distribute the effort needed to just do basic things, right, that NPCs do. They take showers, bro. Someone else can take it for me, okay? Someone else can take showers for me. Again, funny thing about showers, I've mentioned in Sniper Wolf video, Nerd City video, I don't take that many showers anymore. Maybe it's because it's winter and it's not that bad. When it's a cool environment, it's really not easy to get dirty. In a fucking room as well, stuck in a room, you're not gonna get dirty. And if you wash your clothes, like, that's usually enough to be clean. Only when it's hot, it's summer, like, things change. You want to wash yourself a lot more because there's a lot of shit coming out of your body, a lot of gases. Like, it's a different situation all of a sudden. So using advice of like shower every day is a terrible advice because you don't need it. You only have to do what you need, and I have to remind people that as well. That could also be an effort to improve yourself by removing bad habits. We're talking about habits. Break a habit of being yourself. It's completely different. It's more ethereal, these videos, but they have so much information that they actually rival my videos. And there's not a lot of rivals out there versus me. Reach chain of items, so not only one item matters, but a path has to be drawn as well. Which is funny, right? Even if you, like, when you draw a line like this is not reaching this. This is establishing a direction. It's shooting for the stars, not what for one star. One star sucks. Besides, stars are a very weird thing. Stars are like a shattered personality that you might get to interact with a star for 5 minutes at a time if you are a very active person, but like that's not important. What's important is actually keeping up the direction where there's more and more stars laying around, and you try to search for that. You try to gravitate towards where the value is, meaning that the direction is more important than the immediate goal of achieving something. Which is why I slow things down. I'm a very patient person. I don't want to solve a problem as long as that problem is not too insane to just let it happen. Let it rip. Just to rewind, all of this is still stress. All of this is still rejection of good things. All of this is still effort that could be difficult to handle because you need effort for all of this. And all of this is trauma. Everything bad basically is a blob of evil that you have to live with. And you can name it any way you want. So I can name things as stress. All of these things as stress, right? Everything is stress. So to reduce stress, as I've said, the conclusion was to do as much, take distance away from stress. Meaning that when you go shoot for the stars, guess what else happens? There are also things you have to avoid, right? There are also evil people, evil places that try to take over as well. You can fight back as well. You can grab for a star and establish your sanctuary or whatever. And it has to be respected. Alright? Unless you can be defeated. Sanctuary is a big deal. Sanctuary of a lot of skills accumulated, a lot of technology accumulated. And it's useless for other people because they don't got nothing on this. For them it's just dollars, basically. Dollar sign. And it's still hard to sell items that you hold dear. You have value in them. Sanctuary is hard to break for evil people. Even if they surround you, you can still declare war. So collecting stars is a big-ass deal when it comes to holding self-esteem, most importantly. You know? Holding experience together. You have to surround yourself in an environment, in a room that holds all these achievements, right? That remind you that you have to fight back. Because fighting back is actually a very strong emotion. Running away is not as strong of an emotion. All right? Making a big change and resetting your life is a strong emotion. But only when the opportunity is incredibly good. Which is why in the Vortex year, there's going to be a lot of bad opportunities. You know? What Vortex is, it starts with a V. Right? There's going to be bad opportunities that get weeded out, and we'll suck in all the bad people first, anyways, all the loose people, loose ends, who don't have a sanctuary, who don't have contemplation of, they just gotta go, you know? What I want to do is, you know, investigate. I actually approached a Vortex girl. This Vortex is a personality. It's a very specific personality of extroverted thinker. Extroverted thinker thinks that they can just be in a particular spot in life and flourish based on that spot, right? If you put yourself in a presidential chair, you get yourself a throne, all of a sudden you might just be a king at this point. So positioning matters. Being in the right place at the right time matters. And there are people who master that skill, who travel a lot. And I'm actually going to potentially interact with a person like that. I mean, the fact that the potential has risen is already a vortex of its own. All these things that I'm doing and like comparing to everyone around me, like they're not gonna do shit like this. Come on, dude. I wish I knew. And technically I have to also, you know, put up LCD sign. LC sign Tony, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hello. Goodbye.
If you're not woke, you deserve a sign. Cause of course, goodbye to these people. Like if this is your sign, you don't need one of these. All right, you don't need to build a business. Definitely, you're a fucking normie degenerate.
Liberal, you're a hypocrite, and I feel sorry for your trans friends. I feel sorry for your trans friends. I don't have any trans friends. Anyways, here's how to tell if your LED sign is cheap.
Little one asking.
Your LED sign.
LED. This is good shit, bro. I can put up a sign that is like fucking badass. Simple sign. Fucking geo. And all of a sudden, I would stand out across the fucking city. I would actually get approached by television. And funny enough, I have the reason to do that. When you are traumatized, when you are godlike, you have reasons to do the craziest things no one else can possibly do. So putting up a sign on a fucking apartment building, not your home, like you're trying to be fancy American with that sign, no one cares. But imagine an apartment building where you're just like, there's tons of people who's gonna see it. They want it or not. It's gonna be there. Visible. Maybe someone will try to, you know, tell me to take it down, but all of a sudden I exist. Way more than other people. I become the vortex. Do I want to become a vortex in a vortex here? Kind of. That's probably the solution. Maybe that's the solution. You know, take a piss on everyone else who is using motorcycles and other ways to bolster their self-esteem, but that's a very destructive way. This is a fucking badass thing. Not only this guy has highest self-esteem, but he's doing all the right things in all the right moments. Like, perfection has been reached, right? For a reason. We praised a dude like this who became just a perfect meme.
Stores. Make sure you buy from a responsible sign company.
It's crazy. And all of a sudden you feel like you can build a business now. Because you get those fucking signs. I would put up a rewind. Like, I really care about YouTube rewind still. I'm not gonna break a heart and just remain godlike. Well, you can still, you know, be a YouTube CEO. Isn't YouTube CEO being better than the platform itself? Because you get to change it. You get to tell people how to change and upgrade the platform. So I don't know. It's definitely incredible amount of power to say what's right and wrong. Dump that information on a platform, and all of a sudden the platform changes. And any platform can change if I start dunking on it based on the esteem that I have. It could change. And I've been doing that also consistently. dunking on them platforms. They're not good. They're not built properly. Anytime you find a flaw, you can collect that as well. Flaw in other people's systems, forcing you to, again, invent something for yourself. Anyways, might as well do something chill, because my legs are starting to hurt. That is a indication of the end, my friends. And I cannot be next to my computer for too long, so there's an upside and downside. But usually there's more upsides. The downside is the one that I want to have. It's funny how it works in life. Some downsides are useful. Even if it's a downside, it doesn't mean that it actually affects your life negatively. Downside can be used to tell yourself that, okay, I have to stop. I have to take a break. I have to do other things. It could become an indicator of a turn indicator. It's so simple, right? Was Bazaar way too long on the screen? I hope not. Reaching greatness while others work around you so you can employ other people. This is usually the flexible resources that successful people have. They have other people working for them. They have slaves. I want more slaves. I don't want just my mom. That shit, she can make food, but I want better. Better slaves, please. Nah, it's fine. I have more than most people could wish for, so let's go. Counter stress with focus. Oh, you can counter stress as well? Of course, because you get to do something, first of all. You get to put effort towards something. And while you're focusing on collecting stars, and when I'm focusing, like fully focusing, just ripping it, you know, other people can bother me less. All of us, you've taken a distance from all the nuisance, all the annoying things, and all the potential fears as well. I think when you hit the spots, you become somewhat courageous. You're building courage. Over here, you're building courage. Over here, you are building ability to not fear. It's different than courage. It's called confidence. You will fear things when you are courageous, but you want to tackle those fears. You want to jump in there and try your best. In this case, you do not fear at all because you have confidence. You don't have to face your fears. You don't have to toy with your fears. But you just gotta, you know, not be bothered too much. You could break other people's hearts by not being bothered. You must be nice. Otherwise, you're gonna get popped a lot easier than anyone else. There's a downside to how easy it is to build self-esteem. It's the same as easy as to lose it. To lose a chunk of it, and all of a sudden you have to work from scratch. There's a lot of pitfalls, resets, and snakes that will pull you down. But because it's generally a most perfect path in life, why wouldn't I try to go this way? Anyways, let's take something more lighthearted and finish with investigation if there's anything of value in these videos. This is going to be my roadmap and a filler for every single podcast. This is just a pile of random stuff, technically. I have to finish this. Wait. Reach more people with the flags. Of course, I talk about these LED signs. If you have self-esteem, you should express it by turning yourself into a flag. Now, I wear shitty clothes and everything because I want to have a girlfriend. It's a very weird tactic of you can dress me up and clean me, and actually I feel like women actually looking at me do feel the same way. of, oh, I can just do this, this, and that, and all of a sudden this guy's a normal person the way that I like it, but or other people would like it. But at the same time, to achieve other people wanting to like me, I need to need it first. I need to need other people's approval in some kind of way. Right now, I don't care that much. It doesn't matter. And being more attractive is kind of like, I have nothing to offer besides conversation, and advice. And these are great things, but I actually have nothing to offer if you are not my level, right? I'm not here to feed other people because I'm just getting traumatized. I'm getting all the bad things in life. So of course I have nothing to offer. I have to maximize my self-esteem to the point where I'm not receiving bad, evil shit from people, right? While evil people improve this way, being greater and greater NPCs, realizing that they are sort of becoming less evil, but have the greater capacity for evil. I have to improve this way to counterbalance. My esteem is actually a healing the white, blood cell personality. Because it's the bigger your esteem, the more pure it is. And actually, the smaller of a person you are, it's very difficult to spot godlike creatures. They slip through your hands. They run away from you. They don't want trouble by any means, because they're godlike. And yes, I have confidence to stand up for myself until you show weapons. Then I have to fucking back off. And of course, it's a great privilege you have that can be easily confiscated and already identifies you as a threat. So I will let you have weapons. There's no problem with that. I will have confidence that I can defend myself pretty well against an assault. And it's crazy, though. It's crazy to live a very different life all of a sudden. Like, I'm taking brain damage. I'm getting confronted back. People are confronting me in a very different way. And who knows what's actually going on, right? But I'll get myself in trouble. Like, early morning, you can't do shit without a fight. Now, I don't know if confidence can be destroyed if I just think about fighting. Like, that sounds like a really bad idea, right? Well, I don't know. You can let lazy people around you do something valuable. Now, when you're harvesting power, with your self-esteem, all of a sudden reaching the levels of power, and potentially permanently, is the highest position you can take with self-esteem. So all of a sudden, anyone who's lazy around you, you can boss them around. I definitely can boss my mom and dad, because they're fucking lazy people. They are annoying. And they have to be trained to do valuable things in life and make better decisions. They just have to be. And sometimes you can just order them to do something very specific. Anyone's lazy, you gotta fucking push them around. As long as they don't treat you as an enemy, of course. Funny enough, they would be too lazy to do that. Reach for opportunity. Chain of events. Do better. Okay, what is the do better thing? Of course, they can just do better, Do better. Not every opportunity is worth chasing and reaching for. You just ask these opportunities to do better by saying no. Yeah, in the Vortex year, you're waiting for survivors. Vortexes are usually new things happening. People adopting new things or offering new things it will create a vortex. What has to happen is you have to be patient for those vortexes to calm down. Because the first opportunities, they're going to be the shittiest ones that you definitely don't want to bother yourself with whatsoever. Alright? Anyways, let's jump in. Filler? Oh, we don't get no filler. Guys.
Get your life.
Okay, that's pretty easy. No, you don't have enough self-esteem, that's what it is. In order to make the future happen, you have to make bold pushes forward. Something's gotta be really bold and outlandish. Ask for consent of the most, like, ridiculous things. Of give me this and give me that, and it's gonna be great. Be my girlfriend, it's gonna be great. Very outlandish. Give me a job. It's gonna be great. I'll do a good job. No, give me payment. Payment is all that matters. Why do you want this job? Oh my god, it's the stupidest. No, I want money. No, dude. I want money. What can I do for you in exchange for money? I don't want no job. Anyways, I said enough. I have kind of calmed down the idea of reach, because reach for me was like, oh, I will ask my mom to go to grocery store for me and cook me food. I'll do all these things. But going outside and getting myself a little bit of trouble, testing my confidence and whether I can look people dead in the eye and just be very fucking annoying. Of like, what happened to you? What the fuck? Why are you staring at me? Literally, the craziest thing you can do in the streets is look people in the eyes. And, like, it's crazy to me. Because the most powerful things in life are the most difficult to do. But they're also incredibly simple. This is why, again, godlike people are very small. Seemingly very small, very deceptively small. Until you realize how big of a threat they actually are in changing your life. For worse or better. For judging you, basically. Godlike people would do the same thing as God does, which is the final judgment of how your life actually is supposed to be. Because many people can fill their life with a scam, with a bad behavior like React channels. Oh my god, they're the worst. And so we have this, right? We have something that's like extreme and would be cut off immediately, cancellation moments. And maybe there's not a lot of value at all. The rest is like neutral lifestyle, right? But what gives people success is usually being ahead of everyone else and using that bonus criminal activity to bolster their fame. Once you cut it off, they become insignificant people. And all of a sudden the world changes. That's what judgment is. That's what godlike people can do. To many, I'm looking at people's eyes of like, who wants to be judged? Because I can probably do that now. I can do that to many, to 99% of people. Bumping into another godlike person is very difficult. There's some people who don't want to be bothered, and you have to respect that. But, fuck it, you know? I can look people dead in the eyes. You unlock new abilities, my friends. Sometimes. New behavior. And it's... Taking a new path is gonna elevate your self-esteem. It's just how it is. Thank you for watching.